Eat tomatoes? Avoid these 9 dangerous mistakes. We've all heard it. Eat more tomatoes for your heart, for their potential to fight off disease, and for that gorgeous red color that makes any dish look healthier. They're full of vitamins and a powerful antioxidant called lycopene. But what if I told you that for seniors, this celebrated superfood could be a hidden health hazard? What if the way you're eating tomatoes right now is secretly contributing to some of the most worrying health issues that come with age? There are 9 common yet dangerous mistakes that can turn this healthy fruit into a trigger for serious problems. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to eat tomatoes safely and sidestep these critical errors. The second mistake is one that even some doctors can overlook, and it could be putting your heart at risk without you even realizing it. Stay with me, because this is information you absolutely need to have. Let's be clear. The tomato has earned its reputation as a nutritional powerhouse. It's loaded with vitamin C, potassium, and that famous antioxidant, lycopene, which has been linked to a reduced risk of heart disease and studied for its role in preventing certain cancers. Research has even shown that cooking tomatoes actually makes their beneficial lycopene more available to your body. It sounds like the perfect food, especially for those of us over 60 trying to protect our bodies and stay vibrant for as long as possible. But here's the counterintuitive truth that a lot of health advice misses. As we age, our bodies change. Our kidneys, our digestive systems, our joints, they just don't work the same way they did at 30 or 40. And because of these shifts, the way our bodies process certain foods, even healthy ones, changes too. This is where the danger lies. You think you're doing your body a favor by loading up on tomato sauce or drinking a glass of tomato juice every morning. But you could be making one of 9 critical mistakes. These aren't just little slip-ups. They are errors that can contribute to high blood pressure, dangerous medication interactions, painful inflammation, and other serious health problems that specifically affect seniors. Today, we're going to look at each of these 9 mistakes, one by one. I'm not just going to tell you what the problem is, I'm going to explain why it's a danger specifically for you and give you simple, actionable solutions to keep enjoying tomatoes safely. Let's get started. Mistake number 1, trusting processed tomato products blindly. The first mistake is one millions of people make every day, and it's hiding in plain sight in your pantry. It's choosing high-sodium processed tomato products. We're talking about that convenient can of tomato soup, the jar of pasta sauce for a quick dinner, or the bottled tomato juice you think is a healthy breakfast. You see tomato on the label and think, health. But the real story is often on the nutrition panel in tiny print. Sodium. Why is this so dangerous, especially for seniors? As we age, our bodies often become more sensitive to sodium, and our blood vessels naturally get stiffer. This combination is a perfect storm for high blood pressure. Think of your arteries like garden hoses. When you're young, they're flexible. As they get older, they become more rigid. Now, imagine forcing too much fluid through those old, stiff hoses. The pressure builds. That's exactly what high sodium intake does to your body. It makes you retain water, increasing your blood volume and forcing your heart to work much, much harder. This isn't a small risk. Chronic high blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason. It often has no symptoms until it's too late. It puts a massive strain on your cardiovascular system, dramatically increasing your risk for heart disease, strokes, kidney failure, and even dementia. Let's look at the numbers. A single half cup of a popular spaghetti sauce can have over 450 milligrams of sodium. A cup of some tomato juices can pack over 650 milligrams. And a can of classic tomato soup? That can have a staggering 890 milligrams of sodium in just 1/2 cup. The recommended daily limit is around 2,300 milligrams. And for many seniors, doctors recommend sticking to 2,500 milligrams. As you can see, one serving of a processed tomato product can wipe out a huge chunk of your daily sodium budget. Food companies pile in the salt not just for flavor, but as a cheap preservative. They know salt makes food hyperpalatable. It tricks your brain into wanting more. So, what's the solution? It's simple. but it requires a new habit. First, become a label detective. Never again put a canned or jarred tomato product in your cart without turning it around and reading the sodium content. Look for products labeled low sodium or no salt added. The difference is enormous. Second, embrace fresh tomatoes. Making your own pasta sauce is easier than you think. A little olive oil, garlic, and herbs, and you have a delicious, heart-healthy sauce without the salt bomb. Plus, cooking tomatoes yourself makes that beneficial lycopene more available for your body, so you get a double benefit. And third, if you must use canned goods, give them a rinse. Rinsing canned tomatoes or beans under cold water can wash away a significant amount of the excess sodium. By avoiding this first mistake, you take back control and start making choices that will protect your heart for years to come. Mistake number 2. Ignoring dangerous medication interactions. This next mistake is critically important, and one that many people, and sometimes even their doctors, can overlook. It's the hidden danger of eating large amounts of tomatoes while taking certain common medications. Specifically, we're talking about the interaction between high-potassium tomatoes and a class of blood pressure drugs known as ACE inhibitors and ARBs. Let me ask you, are you taking a medication for high blood pressure? If so, look at the name. Does it end in pril, like lisinopril? Or does it end in sartan, like losartan? These are some of the most widely prescribed drugs in the world for hypertension and heart failure. They work wonders, but they have a specific side effect. They can cause your body to retain potassium. Now, potassium is essential. Your heart, nerves, and muscles all need it. But the key word here is balance. When you combine a medication that makes you hold on to potassium with a diet very high in it, you can create a dangerous situation. This condition is called hyperkalemia, which means dangerously high potassium levels in your blood. When that level climbs too high, it can start to interfere with the electrical signals that control your heart. Think of your body like a car battery. It needs the right balance of electrolytes. Too little is bad, but too much can be just as catastrophic. Mild symptoms are often vague and easy to dismiss. Muscle weakness, fatigue, or a tingling sensation. But as levels rise, the symptoms become terrifying. Heart palpitations, shortness of breath, chest pain, and in severe cases, a life-threatening irregular heartbeat or even sudden cardiac arrest. Tomatoes in concentrated forms like sauce, paste, and juice are loaded with potassium. A single cup of tomato puree can have over 1,000 milligrams. If you're also eating bananas, potatoes, or spinach, you can see how quickly the levels could accumulate. So what's the solution? This is absolutely crucial. Do not stop taking your prescribed medication. The solution is communication and moderation. First, be your own health advocate. The next time you see your doctor or pharmacist, ask this specific question. I am taking name of your medication. I know that tomatoes are high in potassium. Do I need to limit my intake? They know your health history and can give you personalized advice. Second, be mindful of your diet. You don't have to eliminate tomatoes, but you should avoid consuming them in excessive amounts. Maybe that means not having a huge glass of tomato juice every single morning. It's about balance. And third, be aware of salt substitutes. Many are made from potassium chloride. Combining salt substitutes with these medications and a high potassium diet is a triple threat. By understanding this risk and talking to your doctor, you can manage your blood pressure safely without falling into this hidden trap. Mistake number 3, overlooking tomato allergies and sensitivities. For our third mistake, we move from a chemical interaction to an immune system reaction. This is the mistake of assuming tomatoes are safe for everyone and ignoring the subtle signs of an allergy or sensitivity. You might be thinking, a tomato allergy? I've eaten tomatoes my whole life. But get this, allergies can develop at any age. An adult can suddenly become allergic to a food they've eaten without issue for decades. A true tomato allergy is when your immune system mistakenly identifies proteins in the tomato as an invader and releases histamines. The symptoms can range from mild to severe. On the milder end, you might experience an itchy mouth or throat, skin reactions like hives, or digestive issues like stomach cramps or nausea. An interesting reaction some people develop is called oral allergy syndrome, OAS. This often happens in people with seasonal pollen allergies, especially to grass. The proteins in raw tomatoes are so similar to grass pollen that your immune system gets confused and triggers a reaction usually confined to the mouth and throat: itching, tingling, or slight swelling right after eating a raw tomato. While these symptoms might seem like minor inconveniences, they are your body's warning signal. Ignoring them is a mistake because in rare cases, a tomato allergy can escalate to anaphylaxis, a severe whole-body reaction causing difficulty breathing and a rapid drop in blood pressure. It is a medical emergency. So how do you avoid this? The solution is to become a careful observer of your own body. First, practice mindful eating. The next time you eat a fresh tomato, pay attention. How does your mouth feel? Any itching or tingling? Second, keep a food and symptom diary. If you suspect a connection, write down what you eat and any symptoms you experience. A pattern may emerge that you never would have noticed otherwise. This diary is invaluable information for a doctor. Third, if you notice a consistent pattern, seek medical advice. An allergist can perform tests to confirm if you have a true allergy. Knowing for sure is essential. And finally, understand that with OAS, you might only react to raw tomatoes. The cooking process often breaks down the problematic proteins, so you might be able to eat cooked tomato sauce without any issue. An allergist can help you figure this out. Don't dismiss your body's signals. That little itch is a message. Mistake number 4, not recognizing nightshade sensitivity. This brings us to our 4th mistake, which is related to the last one but often more mysterious. This is the mistake of eating tomatoes despite having chronic joint pain or digestive issues and not recognizing the potential link to nightshade sensitivity. Ever heard of nightshades? It sounds like something from a fantasy novel, but it's a real family of plants. The nightshade, or Solanaceae, family includes tomatoes, all potatoes, except sweet potatoes, all peppers, and eggplants. These plants produce natural chemicals called alkaloids, which act as a pesticide to protect the plant. For most people, the amount in ripe nightshades is harmless, but for some, these compounds may trigger or worsen an inflammatory response. This isn't a true allergy, but a sensitivity. The most common complaints from people with nightshade sensitivity are joint pain and stiffness. This is the big one, especially for seniors who may already have arthritis. Digestive issues. This can include bloating, gas, and stomach discomfort. Other inflammatory symptoms. Some people also report headaches or fatigue. The connection between nightshades and inflammation is debated in the medical community. While some studies suggest a link, large-scale human studies haven't provided definitive proof. However, the volume of anecdotal evidence from people who find relief by eliminating nightshades is impossible to ignore. The danger here is living with unnecessary pain. If your diet is contributing to your joint stiffness, you're missing a chance to improve your quality of life. So what's the solution? Since there isn't a medical test for this, the solution is a personal experiment, an elimination diet. For 3 to 4 weeks, you completely remove all nightshade vegetables. No tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, or eggplants. You have to be a detective, as paprika and many spice blends also contain nightshades. During this time, keep a detailed journal of your pain levels, stiffness, and energy. Then, you reintroduce one nightshade at a time. Eat a plain tomato, then wait 2 to 3 days monitoring your symptoms. Did the pain return? This methodical approach is the only way to know if nightshades are a trigger for you. For some, it can be a life-changing revelation. We're about halfway through, and if you've ever felt joint pain and wondered if your diet was to blame, let me know in the comments below. It's a conversation so many of us need to have. And if you're finding this information valuable, please consider sharing this video with a friend or family member. You never know whose life you might change. And if you haven't already, take a moment to click that subscribe button. We release videos like this every week to help you stay healthy and strong. Mistake number 5. Believing more is always better. Let's move on to the 5th mistake, which is rooted in the flawed idea that if a little of something is good, a lot must be great. This is the mistake of eating too many tomatoes. As with almost everything in life, moderation is key. Overdoing it with even the healthiest foods can lead to problems. There are 2 primary dangers here. The first is acid reflux or GERD. Ever get that burning sensation in your chest after a big Italian meal? That's heartburn. Tomatoes are naturally acidic. When you consume too much, it can cause the muscle at the top of your stomach, the lower esophageal sphincter, or LES, to relax. Think of the LES as a one-way door. Acidic foods can prop that door open, allowing stomach acid to splash back into your esophagus, causing that pain. For seniors, this muscle can weaken with age, making you even more susceptible. The second danger is related to kidney stones. Let's be very clear. For the vast majority of people, tomatoes will not cause kidney stones. That's a myth. However, for people who are already prone to forming calcium oxalate stones, overconsumption could be a contributing factor. Tomatoes contain compounds called oxalates. While they are considered a low oxalate food, if you eat massive quantities, the oxalates can add up. In susceptible people, these can bind with calcium in the urine and form painful crystals. Again, this is a risk primarily for those with a history of these specific stones. The solution is to embrace moderation and balance. First, define what moderation means for you. This might mean 1 tomato in your salad, not a quart of tomato juice every day. Second, if you're prone to acid reflux, try to balance the acidity. Pair tomatoes with alkaline foods like cucumbers or avocado. Also, avoid large tomato-based meals late at night. Third, if you have a history of calcium oxalate kidney stones, talk to your doctor or a dietitian. They may advise you to limit your intake of all oxalate-containing foods, not just tomatoes. Staying well hydrated by drinking plenty of water is one of the best ways to prevent stones. Enjoy tomatoes, but don't fall into the more is better trap. Mistake number 6, improper washing and preparation. The 6th mistake seems basic, yet it's frighteningly common and can have serious consequences, particularly for seniors whose immune systems are less robust. This is the mistake of not washing your tomatoes properly. There are 2 main hazards on the skin of an unwashed tomato: pesticides and bacteria. Conventionally grown tomatoes are often sprayed with pesticides. While there are legal limits on residue, it makes sense to remove as much as possible. The more immediate danger is bacteria. A tomato can come into contact with contaminants like Salmonella or E. coli from the farm to the grocery store. For a senior, food poisoning isn't just a day of discomfort. It can lead to severe dehydration and hospitalization. The solution is a thorough cleaning process. First, wash your hands with soap and water before you touch your produce. Second, don't just give the tomato a quick rinse. Rub the entire surface gently with your fingers under cool, running water for at least 30 seconds. This friction is key. Don't use soap or detergents, as the tomato's porous skin can absorb them. Third, for an extra clean, you can soak tomatoes in a solution of 1 teaspoon of baking soda in 2 cups of water for about 12-15 minutes, then rinse. Studies have shown this is highly effective at removing surface pesticide residues. Fourth, dry the tomatoes with a clean paper towel to remove any lingering bacteria. Finally, consider the source. If you're concerned about pesticides, you might choose organic. But even organic tomatoes must be washed thoroughly to remove potential bacteria. This mistake is so easy to avoid, yet so critical to your health. Mistake number 7, ignoring cross-reactivity. Our 7th mistake highlights a fascinating but dangerous phenomenon: cross-reactivity. In simple terms, your immune system can get confused. The proteins in one substance can look very similar to proteins in another. If you're allergic to the first, your body's alarm system might go off when it sees the second. With tomatoes, there are two significant cross-reactivity risks. The first is with other members of the nightshade family. If you have a confirmed allergy to tomatoes, you have a higher chance of reacting to potatoes, eggplants, and peppers because they share similar allergenic proteins. The second and more surprising cross-reactivity is with latex. This is known as latex fruit syndrome. A significant number of people allergic to natural rubber latex also react to certain foods, with tomatoes being a common one, along with avocado, banana, and kiwi. Why? Because some allergenic proteins in the rubber tree are structurally almost identical to proteins in these fruits. If you've ever had a reaction to latex gloves or balloons, this is crucial information. The danger is being blindsided by an allergic reaction from a food you thought was safe. The solution is awareness and communication with your doctor. First, understand the connections. If you have an allergy to any nightshade, be cautious with the whole family. Second, if you have a known latex allergy, you must be aware of latex fruit syndrome. You're at a higher risk of reacting to tomatoes. Third, inform your healthcare providers of all your known allergies, not just medications. Tell them about latex, pollen, or any food sensitivities. This complete picture allows them to spot connections and give you the best advice. It empowers you to navigate your health with confidence. Mistake number 8, relying on tomatoes as your main vegetable. This next mistake is a slower, more insidious one that can undermine your long-term health. It's the mistake of relying too heavily on tomatoes and neglecting the vast world of other vegetables. It's an easy trap to fall into. Tomatoes are versatile and delicious. You put them in your salad, use tomato sauce on your pasta, and have tomato soup for lunch. It feels like you're getting your veggies in. But here's the problem. While tomatoes are nutritious, they don't contain every nutrient your body needs. A truly healthy diet is a diverse diet. Over-reliance on any single food can lead to nutritional imbalances. Think of it like a symphony. Tomatoes, with their brilliant red from lycopene, play a beautiful melody. But if that's the only instrument you listen to, you're missing the orchestra. You're missing the beta-carotene from orange vegetables, the glucosinolates in broccoli, and the anthocyanins in purple vegetables that support brain health. The danger is hidden malnutrition. You might feel full, but your body could be starved for specific micronutrients essential for a strong immune system, cognitive function, and healing. The solution is the most effective piece of dietary advice ever given. Eat the rainbow. First, make a conscious effort to add color to your plate at every meal. When you make a salad, don't just use lettuce and tomatoes. Add shredded carrots, colorful bell peppers, if you're not nightshade sensitive, and purple cabbage. Second, challenge yourself to try one new vegetable a week. Expanding your palate is an investment in your cellular health. Third, think of tomatoes as a team player, not the star. When making pasta sauce, sauté finely chopped carrots, celery, and onions as a base. This adds layers of flavor and dramatically boosts the nutritional profile. A varied diet is your best insurance policy against nutritional deficiencies. Mistake number 9, making dietary changes in a vacuum. We've arrived at our final and perhaps most important mistake. This is the umbrella that covers all the others. Making significant dietary changes without consulting a medical professional. In our desire to take control of our health, it's tempting to watch a video and immediately overhaul our diet. You hear tomatoes are good for your heart, so you start drinking tomato juice every day. You're acting with the best intentions. But for seniors, this can be dangerous. Why? Because you are not a blank slate. Many of us are managing chronic conditions like diabetes, kidney disease, or high blood pressure. You are also likely taking one or more prescription medications. Your body is a complex, interconnected system. For example, kidney disease. If you have chronic kidney disease, your kidneys struggle to filter potassium. A sharp increase in high-potassium foods like tomatoes could quickly lead to dangerous hyperkalemia. Diabetes. While tomatoes are generally a good choice, consuming them in very large quantities, especially as juice, could affect your blood sugar management. Gout. Some people report that tomatoes can trigger a gout flare-up, which is caused by high levels of uric acid. Making a dietary change without guidance is like trying to rewire a house without looking at the blueprint. You might connect the wrong wires and cause a major problem. The solution is non-negotiable. Partner with your healthcare team. Your doctor, and ideally a registered dietitian, knows your personal health blueprint. They know your diagnoses, lab results, and medications. They are the only ones who can give you safe, personalized advice. Before you make any significant change, have a conversation. At your next appointment, try this. Doctor, I've been learning about the benefits of tomatoes, and I'm thinking of eating more of them. With my current condition and the medications I'm on, is that a safe choice for me? Is there a limit to how much I should be eating? This proactive question shows you are an engaged partner in your health. It prevents you from making a well-intentioned but potentially harmful mistake. So there you have it. 9 common and potentially dangerous mistakes people over 60 can make with tomatoes. We've seen how canned tomatoes can hide a sodium bomb, how this healthy fruit can interact with common heart medications, and how to listen to our bodies for signs of allergies and sensitivities. We've debunked the "more is always better" myth and reinforced the importance of washing, dietary variety, and, above all, partnering with your doctor. The purpose of this video was not to scare you away from tomatoes. They're a wonderful food. The goal was to empower you with knowledge, to turn you from a passive consumer into a proactive guardian of your own health. Here is your simple action plan. 1. Inspect your pantry. Look at the sodium on your canned tomato products. If it's high, make a note to buy a low-sodium version next time. 2. Review your medications. If you're on an ACE inhibitor or an ARB, write down that question to ask your doctor or pharmacist. 3. Eat the rainbow this week. Make it a goal to add 3 different colored vegetables to your dinner plate tonight. Health in our senior years isn't about finding a single magic bullet. It's about making a series of smart, informed choices every day. By avoiding these 9 mistakes, you've just added 9 powerful new tools to your health toolkit. Thank you for joining me. If you found this helpful, please click that like button and subscribe. In our next video, we're going to expose the shocking truth about a common breakfast food many believe is heart healthy, but could actually be clogging your arteries. You will not want to miss it. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay healthy.